So, with the recent events regarding ISIS, there is a lot of controversy going on, and it naturally sparks the debate of whether or not war is acceptable or if it should be avoided. So, in the Catholic Catechism, in paragraph 2308, it says that all citizens and government should work toward avoiding war, but then it says, however, as long as the danger of war persists and there is no international authority with the necessary competence and power, governments cannot be denied the right of lawful self defense once all peace efforts have failed. So there's this whole concept in the Catholic faith that is known as the just war theory. It was supported strongly by St. Augustine. There are early Christian writers who didn't necessarily support it. In Matthew, like Christ talks about it's no longer an eye for an eye, but rather somebody slaps your cheek, turn the other cheek kind of a thing. So some early Christian writers, such as Tertullian, who's actually one of my favorites, he says, no matter what, we should submit ourselves to the sword, like just do not harm an enemy. Christians do no harm to others. In the just war theory, though, which was supported by St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Ambrose, and St. Augustine, and multiple other very strong Christian theologians, we have this come forward, which it goes along two criteria. So it's us ad bellum and us in bellum, and it's basically the right to go to war and the right conduct in war. So it's basically justifying the pursuit of war after all, efforts of peace and justice have been sought with no avail. So basically, with the right to go to war, this is all found in the Catechism in paragraph 2309. So you can look up and see the bullet points in that. But basically, if we're going into war, making sure that you have the proper authority that's making the call, that you have a just cause, that it's and a right intention. So ultimately, we're not going to war for a material gain, and we're not going for land or something along those lines. It's more self-defense if we've been attacked. We're supposed to pursue war as a last resort, and then also looking at the proportionality. Are the evils equal, and good must outweigh the bad if war is actually sought after. There also has to be a prospect of success. So we have to be sure that, if we pursue this, that there will be good that does come of it because we have the tools and availability to the weapons that we may need in order to fully succeed. And then as far as the right conduct in war, if war is deemed suitable for the situation, then we have the distinction portion where we're called to only go after the enemy, and any civilians that may be harmed is not okay. And we can't be attacking neutral targets. So ultimately, in a perfect world, if everybody was seeking after this just war theory, then war would go smoothly. Whereas in our day and age where it is today, nobody really cares about taking innocent lives. I mean, doing this research, I really think about abortion. It's like, oh, the war on babies. And we have that going on right now, which completely sucks, but is kind of a reality where innocent lives are being killed. And so this whole concept of war, this distinction of not killing innocent lives and only going after the targets that need to be killed. Again, the proportionality is looked at here, making sure that the good is outweighing the bad. And then also fair treatment of prisoners of war, making sure that they're, since they're no longer posing a threat, that they're not being tortured and treated unfairly. But ultimately, in Ecclesiastes 3:3, it talks about how there is a time to kill. Unfortunately, sometimes it does have to be sought just due to the world that we're in, where people don't always, not everybody's about peace, and not everybody is after the common good. Some people are out for themselves in order to maintain power or to gain land, or just simply out of envy of somebody else, what somebody else has, that they want to take that away from them, such as the Twin Towers episode. There's a lot that goes into the just war theory, but the main thing, we have to pray for everybody that's involved and pray for the countries and hope that God's peace can intervene with it, and that the suitable authorities are in place in order to make those serious calls that do need to be made here coming up. I mean, Christ talks about how we'll hear rumors of wars and everything else. So we know that they're going to help, or, not help, maybe help, but they're going to be a part of what happens in the end times due to the fact that we do live in an imperfect world, and God and Christ is coming back to render that and to fulfill his second coming in order to save us and pull us away from what we have to endure while we're here on earth. So I hope this is helpful. I know we're called to not live in fear. Fear, perfect love drives out fear. So if we seek God through this turmoil and through this time, we can definitely reap the benefits that he has to offer for us and move forward knowing that we have a joyful expectation and he will fulfill his duties to us and make everything right again in his world. So God bless. Happy Sunday. I will see you guys again next week.